What is the most difficult, I guess, part of when you had a child? Like, what did it take you away from that you miss most? For me, the first thing I think of is traveling. Like, when do you have time to travel? How do you travel? Because traveling is so important for the soul, you know?
I think we haven't been able to experience that. That's why both Nico and I, it's a weird way to frame it, but we both had our kids when 2020 happened. So
did you guys plan that?
No, we didn't.
You weren't like, hey, let's have a kid.
Of course we planned it 9 months before the pandemic hit.
But it was one of us' wishes that we'd be pregnant at the same time, and it happened almost. Like, they're 2 months apart.
Law of attraction, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get pregnant at the same time. Boom, boom, boom.
But so we haven't had that problem because we can't travel. No one can travel right now.
Oh,
so we haven't experienced
that's a good
that.
way to look at it.
And even your question
but
prior
you can
to this,
travel. I traveled
to certain bubbles, but it's complicated. I mean, he's gone to
Palawan.
He's gone to you can go to the islands
Domestic.
and stuff like that for sure.
You can go to Mexico and South America, which you're going to right now in 24 hours.
With a kid, definitely no. Like, that's not something you consider just because traveling right now is not a comfortable thing. I do think that's something that I would definitely miss, but I think what you probably lack the perspective on is when you have a kid, it's so cool seeing things that you thought weren't cool.
You sleepy? Are you sleepy? You can't fall asleep, Dahlia. You have to keep me company.
Like, I took Dahlia to the zoo in Melbourne, and I hate the zoo. And we got in the zoo, and then she saw, like, I don't know what it was, like a kangaroo or something, and then she freaked out. And, like, the way she was interacting with it, how her eyes were, like, it's a completely different experience, which you probably won't understand for a while. But it's the coolest thing to see. I've traveled extensively. Like, I've traveled a lot. I've been really lucky, both in my childhood and adulthood, to travel to a lot of countries. And unfortunately, you do tend sometimes to get a little jaded. Like, you need bigger experiences to get that adrenaline rush. And having a kid gives you that new perspective, which is really cool.
It almost sounds like you get this supernatural feeling of experiencing what your kid is.
You do.
And feeling that inner child in you.
Because you're so in tune to that.
And igniting that.
Yeah. You're so in tune to that. And that's what makes you realize, even for me, one of the biggest learnings I've had from Dahlia was food. Like, because I prepared every dish for her every meal, 3 times a day. And you realize what good food actually looks like. Because they can't have salt, they can't have sugar and all that stuff. So in the beginning, they were eating steamed vegetables, roasted vegetables, maybe some boiled proteins, and then very little grains in the beginning. And then, so you're like,
it's like moderate keto.
No, it was like, yeah, I guess.
That's a scary word.
Yeah,
you don't want to say keto.
They're still eating bread and stuff like that, and some rice. But what I'm saying is, there was no salt, there's no need for additives or spices or anything like that. And it shows you how simple food can be. It can be simple, we just choose to make it complicated because it's fun. And it's the same thing with traveling. You need to do more, you need to do crazier stuff for it to be fun. But then you realize that the simple things are actually sometimes really intriguing and interesting. And that's why when you see a kid, it does bring that side out of you. You're like, oh wow, I didn't realize how cool this was.